Hey, it's great to see you again. I was just thinking about you. Isn't that a marvelous coincidence? You remember Goldana, of course. These are her children, and there's more about somewhere. We're one big happy family, at long last. Oh, that's what everyone says about their relatives. But I've never been happier.
I'm overjoyed to have my little brother back. I'll never let him out of my sight again.
I don't think I'll be coming. I don't want to spend my life fighting, only to end up dead in a pit along with rotting, darkspawn corpses.
Well, Alistair, is your friend staying for supper?
Say you'll stay. Goldana's a great cook. Maybe she'll make her mince pie. You can, can't you?
Of course, dear brother. Anything for you.
How can you say that about Goldana? She's the soul of goodness. You're acting really strangely. All right, if it makes you happy. It's a little fuzzy. That's strange.
Alistair, come and have some tea.
No. Wait. I remember a tower. The circle. It was under attack. There were demons. That's all I really remember. Are you saying this is a dream? But it's so real.
Of course it's real. Now wash up before supper and
Something doesn't feel quite right here. I think I have to go.
No, he is ours, and I'd rather see him dead than free.
Couldn't we all just get along?
Goldana? I can't believe it. How did I not see this earlier? Yes, well, try not to tell everyone how easily fooled I was. Are we going now? Wait, where are you going? What's happening to me? Hey!
What do we have here? A rebellious minion? An escaped slave? My, but you do have some gall. But playtime is over. You all have to go back now.
Oh, here I am. And there you are. You just disappeared. Well, no matter.
How did I get here? What happened to all those luscious wood nymphs?
You will not hold us, demon. We found each other in this place, and you cannot stand against us.
If you go back quietly, I'll do better this time. I'll make you much happier. I made you happy and safe. I gave you peace. I did my best for you, and you say you want to leave? Can't you think about someone other than yourself? I'm hurt. so very, very hurt. You wish to battle me? So be it. You will learn to bow to your betters, mortal.
It appears we will lose blood ourselves.
Now the fun Bravo! Shall we compete for
So I shall.
Oh, another battle it is!
So I shall. As you
The shadow of darkest.
Of course. So I shall.
You defeated the demon. I never thought I never expected you to free yourself. To free us both. When you return, take the Litany of Adrala from my body. It will protect you from the worst of the blood magic. I cannot go with you. I've been here far too long. For you, it will have been an afternoon's nap. Your body won't have wasted away in the real world while your spirit lays in the hands of a demon. Every minute I was here, the sloth demon was feeding off of me, using my life to fuel the nightmares of this realm. There is so little of me left. I was never meant to save the Circle, or survive its troubles. I am dying. It is as simple as that. Thank you, but it is too late for me. I do not fear what may come. They say we return to the Maker in death, and that isn't such a terrible thing. My only regret is that I could not save the Circle. But you can. Take the litany off my body when you return. It is important. I'm not a hero. Perhaps trying to be one was foolish. Dark times, greater acts of heroism, eh? You may be right. Before I was taken to the Circle, my mother said I was meant for greatness. I would be more than my ancestors could have ever dreamed. I hope I haven't disappointed her. It is time for us both to be on our way. Remember the Litany of Adrala. The Circle is all that matters now. Thank you, and goodbye, friend.
Wait. You didn't take the litany from Niall, did you? We'll need it to save the Mantis. Whatever was going on.
Of course. have finished. As I began to pluck.
This really gives me no mercy.
This trick again? I know what you are. It won't work. I will stay strong.
The boy is exhausted. And this cage, I've never seen anything like it. Rest easy. Help is here.
Enough visions. If anything in you is human, kill me now and stop this game. You broke the others, but I will stay strong for my sake. For theirs. Filthy blood mages getting in my head. I will not break. I'd rather die. Silence! I'll not listen to anything you say. Now be gone! Still here. But that's always worked before. I close my eyes, but you are still here when I open them. Don't blame me for being cautious. The voices, the images, so real. Did Gregor send you? How? How did you get here? Good. Kill Aldred. Kill them all for what they've done. They caged us like animals, looked for ways to break us. I'm the only one left. They turned some into monsters and there was nothing I could do. What others? What are you talking about?
Irving and the other mages who fought Aldred. Where are they?
They are in the harrowing chamber. The sounds coming up from there. Oh, Maker.
We must hurry. They are in grave danger, I am sure of it.
You can't save them! You don't know what they've become. They've been surrounded by blood mages whose wicked fingers snake into your mind and corrupt your thoughts.
His hatred of mages is so intense. The memory of his friends' deaths is still fresh in his mind.
You have to end it now, before it's too late. To ensure this horror is ended, to guarantee that no abominations or blood mages live, you must kill everyone up there.
I deserve to die, and you spared me. Why are you so quick to condemn these mages? I've taken the lives of many throughout my career, but this is no measured act. There is no chase, no hunt, no dignity in this. There is only slaughter. I've thought about it, but I don't know why I'm so concerned about this to begin with. Do as you like. Certainly the notions of morality brought up by a professional assassin are dubious at best, yes?
You understand what you must do. I would help, but as you can see, I am in no position to do anything. The highest priority is prying the tower away from these rogue mages. It must be done. My cage is Uldred's doing, or one of his mages. Once they're dead, I will be free. Sometimes terrible things must be done to protect the greater good.
What greater good? What good is done by killing the innocent? I cannot allow this. I will defend this circle to the death.
Whoa, 1 second here. I sense that things are going quickly downhill.
You will have to get through me to harm the others.
That's a bit of a drastic measure, isn't it? You don't have to do this.
Thank you for your concern, my dear. But it is too late. We've all made our choices. I cannot let you harm them. I am sorry we could not agree, and I am sorry that I must stop you.
Dear
Watch now.
me, what's all this fuss?
I think we work well together.
Do you accept the gift that I offer?
Look what we have here. An intruder. I bid you welcome. Care to join in our revels? Oh, very observant. I'm quite impressed you're still alive. Unfortunately, that must mean you killed my servants. Oh, well, they are probably better off dying in the service of their betters than living with the terrible responsibility of independence. Wait! Let's not be hasty. I'm trying to have a civilized conversation here. Fight, if you must. It will just make my victory all the sweeter.
I'm too old for this. But I am alive, and that is something to be thankful for. My friend, the Circle owes you its thanks. Come. The Templars await. We shall let them know that the tower is once again ours. I'll need you to guide me down the stairs. Ugh. Curse whoever insisted the Circle be housed in a tower.
Irving? Maker's breath. I did not expect to see you alive.
It is over, Gregor. Uldred is dead.
Uldred tortured these mages, hoping to break their wills and turn them into abominations. We don't know how many of them have turned.
What? Don't be ridiculous.
Of course he'll say that. He might be a blood mage. Don't you know what they did? I won't let this happen again.
I am the Knight Commander here, not you. We have won back the tower. I will accept Irving's assurance that all is well.
But they may have demons within them, lying dormant, lying in wait.
Enough! I have already made my decision. Thank you. You have proven yourself a friend of both the Circle and the Templars. I promised you aid, but with the Circle restored, my duty is to watch the mages. They are free to help you, however. Speak to them. The Templars guard and advise, but the First Enchanter has the last word in what happens in the Circle. Please excuse me. And Irving, it is good to have you back.
Ah, I'm sure we'll be at each other's throats again in no time. Here we are, the tower in disarray. The Circle nearly annihilated. Oh, it could have been much, much worse. I am glad you arrived when you did. It's almost as though the Maker himself sent you. The least we can do is help you against the Darkspawn. I would hate to survive this, only to be overcome by the Blight. You have my word. As First Enchanter, the Circle will join the Grey Wardens in the fight. There is much to be done here, and I must go. You must forgive me for not being a proper host. When the time comes, we will stand beside you.
My men have scouted the tower. It's a mess, but the abominations are gone. You are very thorough. I'm impressed. And I am thankful you arrived when you did. In no time? Doubtful. But it doesn't hurt to be optimistic sometimes. I shan't keep you then. Farewell.
I wish I could have gone with them. To fight.
You really killed all those abominations?
I didn't think it was possible. I thought we'd all die here. I'm sure you need supplies after that, don't you? You really killed all those... I'm sure you need supplies after that.
The Blight. How will you end it? Is that all? It is surrounded by an ocean of darkspawn. How will you reach it? If you reach it, how will you slay it? You say you are a Grey Warden. I have heard stories of this order. Great strategists and peerless warriors. That is what we hear of the Wardens. So far, I am not impressed. Yes.
Something you need, my dear? Well, we're in camp. Now's as good a time as any to talk, right? I don't know. Arleman wants to make me king at the Landsmeet. I never ever wanted that, not in my wildest dreams. But I won't refuse it if it's in the best interests of the nation either. I love you. You know that, right? But I have no idea what being king will mean for us. I'll have to think about that. Let's hope we have that option. This isn't really the time for this conversation. Please, let's just talk about this another time.
What say you? By all means. Well, the Crows would have you believe that it is an involved process that takes years of training, the sort that tests both your resolve and your endurance. Survive that process and maybe, just maybe, you're good enough to start being considered one of them. But quite frankly, the truth is that all it requires is the desire to kill people for a living. It's surprising how well one can do in such a field. I don't know about that. It's simply a slightly different skill set from your average killer, as I see it. An assassin simply specializes in striking from stealth, and in maximizing that first attack to be as lethal as possible. Debilitate your foe, either by poison or by crippling their limbs, makes any follow-up combat you need to engage in that much simpler. I do. It is not something inherent in an assassin's skills, however, merely something complementary. Of course, the Crows like to pretend that their abilities are trade secrets, shrouded in shadows and wrapped in a blanket of mystery. So let's just keep this between you and me, shall we? Hmm?
Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind? Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think. Of course, Orlesians enjoy telling stories. I shall tell you my favorite tale of Aveline, the Knight of Olay. A long time ago, a girl child was born to a farmer. He had hoped for a son, not a daughter, and so he told his wife to abandon the child in the woods. Before the cold could claim her, the baby was found by a tribe of Dalish elves who took pity on the poor mewling thing and raised her as their own. Aveline, for that is what they called her, grew strong and quick and clever under the guidance of the elves. She learned to wield the sword as well as any man, could kill a deer with an arrow at 100 paces, and was as graceful on the back of a horse as she was on foot. Aveline's Dalish guardians saw that she could easily best any Orlesian chevalier in battle, and wanted to show the cruel humans the child they had left to die. They bestowed upon her a fine horse and armor, and sent her to prove herself to her people in the Grand Tourney. Now in those days, no woman was allowed to take up arms, let alone compete in the Grand Tourney, but Aveline kept her helmet on and was not discovered. Aveline won many events and gained the approval of the adoring crowd. Eventually, she came face to face with the knight Kaleva in the Grand Melee. Aveline had already bested him in the joust, and Kaleva was determined not to lose a second time. Out of desperation to regain his honor, Kaleva tripped Aveline and tossed her to the ground, ripping off her helmet as he did so. Silence fell upon the arena as Aveline was revealed. Kaleva declared the previous competitions invalid. A woman had taken part, and this was not allowed. But the crowd cheered for Aveline. Kaleva was furious, for he had lost to a woman and was now being shamed. Blinded by his rage, he forced Aveline to her knees. "Know your place, woman," cried he, and slit her throat. The son of the king, Prince Freyan, was present. He recognized Aveline's skill and bravery and began to see the injustice done to the women in his land. When he was made king, he rewrote the laws of Olay so that women could also become chevalier. He honored Aveline and knighted her after her death. And to this day, any female who is knighted reveres Aveline the Brave, for she is the patron of all women chevalier. Which one? Andraste was the Maker's chosen. The Maker had long since abandoned the world when the sound of her singing turned his ear. Beauty, grace, and wisdom enraptured him, and he offered to take her from this flawed world to become his divine bride. But Andraste had an earthly husband and would not forsake him. Instead, she beseeched the Maker to return to his people once more. So earnest was her plea that the Maker was moved, and promised that he would create a paradise on earth if all abandoned their false gods and turned once more to him. And this is why Andraste began her exalted march on the idolaters of the Tevinter Imperium. The Maker granted her his powers with which to smite her enemies. Andraste brought the Imperium to its knees, and her victories converted many to the worship of the Maker. Alas, it was the frailties of men that betrayed and killed Andraste. Her earthly husband, Maferath, a chieftain of the Alamari tribes himself, grew jealous as his wife's popularity and influence overshadowed his own. She was also revered as the Maker's betrothed, and Maferath began to see their own bond waning in significance as Andraste became ever more devoted to the Maker. Out of envy and spite, Maferath made a pact with the Archon Hessarian of Tevinter, allowing his beloved Andraste to be ambushed and captured. Andraste was burned at the stake in Minrathous, the capital of Tevinter. The Tevinter Chantry claims that in Andraste's last moments, Hessarian's heart softened, and he heard the voice of the Maker telling him to end her suffering. He plunged his sword into her heart, and as her blood washed over his hands, he became one of the faithful. Dissenters said that the Archon only converted because he could not stem the tide of Andraste's cult, and was forced to do so to stay in power. We will never know for sure.
The men are ready to follow you anywhere, thanks to your confidence.
I have a thought. We have an opportunity that I believe we should take advantage of. To the point. My mother was once divested of a particular grimoire by a most annoying Templar hunter. It occurred long before I was born, but even today, Flemeth speaks of the loss with great rage. With the circle of magi in such disarray, it occurs to me that this might be the perfect time to recover the tome from their possession, for surely it eventually ended up in their hands. Flemeth is a sorceress of legend, is she not? And her grimoire would be more than a mere curiosity to mages that daren't even glance towards the places my mother has walked for eons. No doubt 'tis considered something dangerous, perhaps best locked away somewhere dark, yes? And if not, then at least I know it does not exist. But there is no harm in looking, surely? Good. I am most interested to see its contents, should it be located. The grimoire is leather-bound and adorned with the symbol of a leafless tree, should you come across it. If not, however, then I shall simply put it out of my mind.
Different? Different than what? Different than a statue? Different than a log? Should I talk in a monotone? Yes, Master, I exist to serve the Master. I shall kill for the Master and only for the Master. Perhaps it expected me to have a booming voice. Recite limericks. I can recite limericks, if it likes. I am not sensitive. I am made of stone. Sensitive is the exact opposite of what I am. I have never met another golem. I have no idea what one might be like, or why I wouldn't be like them. Why? Has it met other golems? Did they not sound as I do? Did I say it was bad? It thinks I hang on its every word, waiting for approval. I don't know what other golems might be like, but I am already superior by virtue of my free will. This is a good thing. So is being drawn and quartered. Maybe I'm not the only one with a smart mouth, Now stop talking so much. The wagging of its moist little tongue is distracting.
You and your friends are formidable folk, indeed. It's good to have you along on the road. Well, if you're really interested, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to tell you. I am originally from Orzammar, the famed dwarven city that lies beneath the stately Frostback Mountains. I was a merchant there, too. Merchant caste. These things are in the blood, you know. You can't just leave them behind. I ran a fairly successful business. Rare artifacts, you know. Old things, grand things. The nobles loved them. Reminded them of the lost glory days, I suppose. One day, a noble woman came to my stall. She looked around for a bit and then started shrieking in dismay. Apparently, she believed that a pair of braces I had for sale once belonged to her brother. He'd been lost in a cave-in, you see, while on an expedition to clear out the Darkspawn from one of the tunnels running close to the city. They were made specially for him. They're unique, she shrieked. He stole them from my poor brother's corpse. She had me arrested on the spot, of course. Nobles, they're touchy like that. Well, I didn't steal them. You see, I'd been paying these castless thugs to venture out into the deep roads for me. The lost tides. They're full of things that people left behind. Sometimes you can find a treasure. Something worth a little gold. That's exactly how I see it. The noblewoman, she wasn't too happy with the theft of her brother's braces. I don't know what they planned for me, and I didn't want to find out. Bribed the guard that was watching me and took off for the surface first opportunity I got. Never looked back. You're quite welcome. Now, is there anything the boy or I can get you? I'm sure you'll be pleased with the good...
Why, thank you so much. Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much.